Good evening, everybody. Thanks for coming out tonight. We're going to have the Dutchess County Sheriff's Department Color Guard advance the colors now, please, whenever they're ready. Yeah, please stand. We'll have Pledge of Allegiance to the flag right after that. Advance the colors, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Color Guard dismissed. Okay, I want to thank the Dutchess County Sheriff's Department for the color guard tonight. Very much appreciated. My name is David Ray. I'm town councilman, one of the town councilmen in Hyde Park, and Neil Krupnick is another one on the front row here, a town councilman. I want to send regrets from Supervisor Aileen Rohr, Councilman Kenny Schneider, and Councilman Joe Marine. They had a previous engagement they couldn't get out of. Booked months ago. The Roosevelt Fire District is having their installation dinner tonight at the Culinary, I think. So they regret that they're not here. I want to welcome Amy Skaggs, Ensign Amy Skaggs, and her family tonight, who are over here. And Mr. Kuffner is going to be the MC. But thanks for coming, and couldn't be happier to have you here, Amy. This is a town rich in history, and just another part of it now. And the U.S.S. Roosevelt is one of our pride. As a matter of fact, Dutchess County adopted it as our official ship. And because we're in Hyde Park, we really adopted it because the Roosevelts lived here. And it's very special to us. And the interaction between the ship, the town, has been amazing over the years. Delegations have gone down, exchanged gifts, Project Fala, if you don't know about that, we can get into that. But for now, I want to turn it over to our Master of Ceremonies tonight, Mr. Dan Kuffner.
Many thank yous, Dave and Neil. We greatly appreciate it. The town of Hyde Park has been magnificent in permitting us to use the town hall tonight. This program is being televised on Channel 22, and we are certainly appreciative of that. There are many folks in the audience that I would like to pay attention to. First of all, my colleague on the legislature, Diane Nash, she and I were the two legislators in 2009 who presented the resolution for the U.S.S. Roosevelt DDG-80 to be adopted by the county of Dutchess. So I am thrilled that Diane and her husband, Bruce, are here tonight. And again, thank you for your service. It was absolutely marvelous to deal with you. I also would like to thank Linda Boucher and her husband, Jim. In 2012, we had for lack of a better term, a welcome to the U.S.S. Roosevelt DDG-80 committee. And we invited, through many, many resources, we're able to get 25 crew members, including the captain, then Rob Thompson, to visit Hyde Park on Memorial Day. And they came up here and had a most magnificent time. And Linda Boucher was the driving force behind that. And in addition to being the leader of that particular program, she and a man who I grew to love, Bill Millard, she and Bill developed a disc of the events of that particular day, and we were able to give one to Amy's family. Amy's mom, Beth, is a history teacher, so now we are giving her true Hyde Park history. There's no question about that. The other person I want to thank is someone who is somewhat shy sometimes to accept thanks. But if it weren't for Bill Kahn, not one bit of today would be happening. Bill has kept communication with the Roosevelt open through all of these years. He was the one who originally communicated with Amy, and Bill was able to help bring all of you here to show your respect, and it's more words than I can say about how much I appreciate what Bill has done for our relationship with the Roosevelt. So, Bill, many, many thank yous, and we appreciate it. I appreciate it more than you'll ever know. He wasn't ready for that, by the way. You know, so it's wonderful to have Amy here. We would like Amy to be able to say a few words to you, and then we will call some of you up with the proclamations that you may have, and she may be able to present something back to you in return. So without further ado, Ensign Amy Skaggs.
Good evening. I'm Ensign Amy Skaggs, and I'm absolutely thrilled to be here. It's an honor to serve as the representative of the U.S.S. Roosevelt as we celebrate the meaningful relationship we share with Hyde Park, New York. I want to say thank you for the incredible generosity that you have shown to me and my family since our arrival. Your welcome and hospitality have overflowed in abundance. You hosted us as we toured a number of historic sites and took in breathtaking views of your beautiful landscape. You have taken us in with the same enthusiasm and generosity that you have shown to U.S.S. Roosevelt since 2009. As a crew, we are infinitely grateful for your kindness. This past year has challenged us physically, emotionally, and mentally as we make preparations to home port shift to Rota, Spain. When we make the move to Spain, our sailors will be leaving their families in the States and be gone for many months until the tour is complete. A large part of the year was spent at sea to certify the ship and train the crew for the missions in 6th Fleet. To that mission, our time in port has been filled with maintenance and administrative tasks, which has made our workdays very long. The investment of time and energy is essential, however, we must be ready when called upon. We are steadfast and acutely aware that our naval adversaries have become increasingly active on the international stage. As you may know, U.S.S. Roosevelt is in the class of destroyer named for Admiral Arleigh Burke. Burke was a forward-thinking, 3-term Chief of Naval Operations. He explained the nature of naval service for destroyers in particular when he said, "Destroyermen have always been proud people. They have been the elite. They have to be proud people, and they have to be specially selected, for destroyer life is a rugged one. It takes stamina to stand up to the rigors of a tossing destroyer. It takes even more spiritual stamina to keep going with enthusiasm when you are tired and that you feel that you and your ship are being used as a workhorse. It is true that many people take destroyers for granted, and that is all the more reason why the destroyer captain can be proud of his accomplishments. The rigors of being trained as destroyermen have tested and strengthened us on board U.S.S. Roosevelt, and we are proud to serve our nation at sea. We relish the opportunity to live up to our nickname, the Arsenal of Democracy. We would be remiss, however, if we didn't attribute our stamina and grit to the continued love and support that you have shown us over the years. When Admiral Arleigh Burke said that people take destroyers for granted, he certainly hadn't met the citizens of Hyde Park. Thank you for your sponsorship, your generosity, and your continued commitment to support our crew. Thank you.
We are more than happy to be able to present to certain members of this audience, and we'll request for you to come up one at a time, and then Amy will present certain things back to you. We are sorry that Congressman Delgado's office was contacted, and we were hoping to receive a proclamation from his office. It may get here sooner or later, and if it does, we will most certainly acknowledge it. But right now, we would love to invite Lauren Miller from Senator Sue Serino's office to please step forward and make your presentation, say a few words.
My name is Lauren Miller. I'm from Senator Serino's office. Unfortunately, she was unable to be here today, so I'm going to be presenting you 2 proclamations. One is for you and one is for the ship itself. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
In exchange, Captain Commander Matthew Mulmer has signed a photo of U.S.S. Roosevelt for you and Congressman Serino.
Thank you so much.
Yes. Thank you.
We are pleased to have from Representative Assemblywoman Didi Barrett's office, Gunnar Wordon. And Gunnar, would you please be kind to come forward?
My name is Gunnar, and I'm here from Assemblymember Didi Barrett's office. Unfortunately, she's with her mother in California for the week. There's no session this week, so she was able to go see her mother. But we are so happy to be here tonight and be a part of this. I want to thank you for all the work that you've done. So we're here with a citation for you.
Thank you so much.
Yep.
And I also have a signed picture.
Oh, thank you.
No, you.
Oh, this is for you.
That's for you, yes. We are very delighted to have 2 of our county legislators here, both of whom represent Hyde Park. That would be Representative Will Truitt from District 7 and Representative Hannah Black from District 4. Hannah, Will.
Amy, it was an absolute pleasure to meet you earlier today at the walkway. It was a beautiful event. We thank you for being here, you and your family both. Dutchess County is honored to have you here, and we're honored to support the U.S.S. Roosevelt and all the work that you do, all that you and the men and women on the boat do. And so both Hannah and I are very proud to present to you a letter of commendation from Dutchess County, from the legislature, and we will be presenting this also at our meeting in our March board meeting next month. So there's that.
Thank you so much.
If you'd like to give us a certificate.
Yes, and this is the certificate from the county legislature as well.
Thank you all so much. I appreciate it.
Of course.
Thank you.
And I have some gifts in return.
Oh, absolutely.
So I have ball caps.
Oh, nice. I will definitely be wearing this.
So destroyers across the fleet have had an authorization from the larger Navy's uniform regulations that we are authorized to wear the ball caps in place of our 8-corner ball caps. So we actually wear these ball caps on board, underway and in port.
I love it.
Additionally, we have flown an American flag on board U.S.S. Roosevelt as we were transiting across the Atlantic Ocean in our previous underway. So I'd like to present this flag to you all for the county of Dutchess, New York.
Thank you so much.
We'll bring it back to our legislature and make sure that it stays there, right?
Absolutely. Thank you
Thank you
so
all so
much,
much.
Amy. Appreciate everything.
Thank you.
We are also very thrilled to have 2 of our town council persons here this evening, Dave Ray and Neil Kuprick. And if you 2 gentlemen would, Krupnick. I did, yes I did. If you gentlemen would please come up and let me get where I'm going to get here.
I don't have enough hands. Thank you.
Thank you, Amy, for joining us. Sorry, Ensign Skaggs. I'm actually going to read this proclamation. I was told ahead of time that it's not that long. Proclamation honoring the formal visit of Ensign Amy Skaggs, Public Affairs Officer of the U.S.S. Roosevelt, to Hyde Park, New York. Whereas the town of Hyde Park has the honor of being the birthplace of Franklin Delano Roosevelt, 32nd President of the United States of America, and whereas the U.S.S. Roosevelt honors both President Franklin D. Roosevelt and his wife Eleanor Roosevelt and portrays their amazing commitment to freedom, democracy, and dedication to the United States of America, and whereas Ensign Amy Skaggs' visit on behalf of the U.S.S. Roosevelt hopes to continue to promote and strengthen the bond that the ship has to the residents of the town of Hyde Park, and whereas since the U.S.S. Roosevelt first set sail on October 14, 2000, the residents of Hyde Park, New York continue to maintain a special bond with the commander and his crew by their continued support throughout the years with care packages, letters, and well wishes. And whereas the residents of Hyde Park are proud to show their continued support of the U.S.S. Roosevelt by welcoming Ensign Amy Skaggs during her visit to the town of Hyde Park, and look forward to sharing with her the rich history associated with the Roosevelts that is cradled within this beautiful town. Now therefore be it resolved, proclaim that the visit of Ensign Amy Skaggs on behalf of the U.S.S. Roosevelt to Hyde Park, New York, be commemorated this day, and be further proclaimed that our Supervisor, Aileen Rohr, Town of Hyde Park Supervisor, hereby sends this proclamation, notably signed and embossed, to the U.S.S. Roosevelt's commander, Matthew Mulmer, and his crew, to show the town's continued support in maintaining the strong bond between the U.S.S. Roosevelt and the town of Hyde Park.
Thank you so much.
But there's more. For you and all of your family members, we have a Hyde Park pencil, a Hyde Park postcard,
And
a Hyde Park mug, and it's not quite the key to the city, it's the keychain to the town, but we also have a keychain, so.
great.
Thank you all so much. You must have read my mind. My hobbies are actually letter writing and drinking tea, so it's right on. It's right there. And then to thank you, again, I have a flag flown on board U.S.S. Roosevelt and a photo signed by Commander Matthew Mulmer as a gesture of appreciation and thanks for welcoming me and my family and supporting the crew.
Great, thank you.
Thank you, Amy, very much.
We are also very delighted tonight to have Mark Coviello with us. He is the leader of the Veterans Department of the Dutchess County Government, and this is he.
Thank
Mark.
you, sir. Amy, it was such a pleasure meeting you earlier, and from what I do know about Franklin and Eleanor through readings, they would have been super proud to have you come represent the U.S.S. Roosevelt here. You've been fantastic representation for both the ship, the destroyer, and the United States Navy. So I also have a proclamation for you I'd like to read. From the county executive, whereas the Dutchess County Legislature adopted Resolution 209026 designating the U.S.S. Roosevelt as the official warship of Dutchess County, and the ship is named after Hyde Park residents, President Franklin D. Roosevelt and his wife, Eleanor, for their passion and commitment to freedom and democracy, whereas the crew has maintained a relationship with the residents of Hyde Park since being commissioned on October 14th, 2000, and whereas Ensign Amy Skaggs represents the U.S.S. Roosevelt and her crew in this ceremonial visit. This visit continues to strengthen the bond with the residents of Hyde Park for their unwavering support, and whereas the residents of Dutchess County greatly appreciate and recognize the commitment and sacrifices made by our military service members and their families, and pledges to continue to honor and support them through their contributions. Now, therefore, I, Marcus Molinaro, the County Executive of Dutchess County, do hereby extend my heartfelt gratitude to Commander Matthew Mulmer, Ensign Amy Skaggs, and the crew of the U.S.S. Roosevelt for preserving democracy, and best wishes in all your future endeavors. And Amy, it's really cool to have this connection with this ship too, as a veteran, because President Roosevelt was the creator of the GI Bill, which transformed the veteran community and transformed our country. The World War II era veteran who was able to come back and go to school, paid for, with the opportunity to better their careers and create families. I mean, that was really the creation of the middle class. So to have that connection to the ship and to you, I mean, it's a very cool thing for us, and thank you so much for coming. Thank you.
So much.
Yeah.
And I'd like to present you with a flag flown on board U.S.S. Roosevelt, a picture, and the framed item that I've been handing out is a navigator certificate, which is just the certification that this flag was indeed flown on board by our navigator, Lieutenant Mike Valania.
Very cool. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you to the family for coming too. Thank you.
It is with great pleasure that I ask Pete Sipperly from the Rhinebeck American Legion Montgomery Post to join us. Amy?
I'd like to present this flag flown on board U.S.S. Roosevelt, as well as a picture signed by our commander and the navigator certificate to you and your Rhinebeck American Legion Post.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your support of Roosevelt.
I just wanted to make one.
Go ahead, Pete, please.
When they had the ceremony at the gravesite in 2012, I represented Rhinebeck at that ceremony. They also honored the person that fired the first shot at Pearl Harbor. That was Walter Bowe from Staatsburg, New York, who eventually died in Rhinebeck not all that long ago. He was credited with firing the first shot at Pearl Harbor. We received a proclamation, I think from the Defense Department, that authenticated that he indeed was the first one. He was credited with 1-0, and his boat did not receive any, the boat he was on was inside, there were two boats together, and he was stationed inside, and that boat did not receive any damage and no casualties. But Walt Bowe fired the first shot at the Japanese at Pearl Harbor, and I just wanted to make mention of that because that that came up at 2012 when we had the ceremony at the gravesite in Hyde Park. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Pete. It's always terrific to know that history. I am now very pleased to announce Tom Schroeder. Tom is the commander from the Marlborough Legion.
I'd like to present the flag flown on board U.S.S. Roosevelt, a signed picture from our Captain, Commander Mulmer, as well as the navigator's certificate. And I want to extend my sincere thanks for picking me up at the airport yesterday.
Well, I got to know Amy a bit, riding all the way back from the airport up to Hyde Park, and we can be proud of her and the service of all the soldiers that are on that U.S.S. Roosevelt, so that we can sleep at night. Thank you, Amy.
It is now my pleasure to invite Jim Matrando from the Marine Corps League.
Jim, I'd like to present the Marine Corps League with this flag flown aboard U.S.S. Roosevelt, a signed picture from our captain, Commander Mulmer, and the navigator's certificate. It was wonderful getting to chat with you earlier today on Walkway Over the Hudson. Thank you all for your support.
Thank you, really. Thanks. Yes, the Commandant of the Marine Corps League of Dutchess County and the Dutchess County chapter, Carmen Remputi chapter, which I am a member of, would like to say thank you to you, and they are very glad to receive especially Old Glory that it was from the Roosevelt, and thank you, really. Appreciate it. Thanks.
That basically concludes our presentation of proclamations and return gifts from Amy. We'd like to tell you that she has several pictures signed by the captain. If you are so inclined to want a picture, please feel free to get one from Amy before you leave this evening. Additionally, we would very much like to thank Patsy, last name, Patsy Costello from the Hyde Park Historical Society last night for presenting a plaque to Amy. They were not able to be here this evening. We'd like to especially thank Post 1303, the Hyde Park Legion. Neither gentleman was able to be here this evening also, but as you all know, we have Ralph Osterhout, our World War II vet. We want to thank Liz Weinstein, especially. They did a marvelous job today at the Walkway Over the Hudson. And then the Ever Ready Diner. They were just spectacular for the entire group last night. And the community of Hyde Park has just been overwhelmingly supportive of not only Amy and her family, but of the U.S.S. Roosevelt. And back in 2010, was when we had our first visit from then Captain Rob Chadwick. And that has continued now through these number of years. And Amy has kind of promised me that this will continue going forward, despite the fact that they are now going to be stationed in Rota, Spain. But we are going to continue to do our Project Fala, and we will try to maintain our relationship with the Franklin and Eleanor Roosevelt DDG-80. So all of you, thank you so much for being here this evening. Your support and everything you do is greatly appreciated. And if you would like to give some closing remarks, please feel free.
Well, first, before the closing remarks, I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to Bill Kahn and to Dan Kuffner for so gracefully and with so much welcome helping me coordinate all the details. It's been a jam-packed weekend. My family and I have had a blast learning about the history and spending time with you all. So we want to say thank you. And for that, these are commander's ball caps. So we call them colloquially scrambled eggs. When you see these on a visor, you know someone important is coming through. And that's exactly what we want you all to think when you see Mr. Kuffner and Mr. Kahn wearing these. And as Dan mentioned, we've been pretty busy with all the preparations for Rota, Spain. The past couple years, we haven't been able to send sailors, but we're headed to Spain now, and it has become an absolute priority of our commander to bring more sailors, more members of the crew here to interact with you all, to extend our thank you and to further the relationship. So we look forward to that in the coming months and years. Thank you so much.
And with that, thank you ever so much for all of your support, and have a great evening. Amy, if you want to, again, if you would like a picture, a signed picture of the Roosevelt, please feel free to see Amy. Hey, Mark. Thanks, buddy. Stay well.
That's good. So if you say vacation,
To go to Sue, right?
Yes.
This is